Hello everyone, welcome back to Blacksmith Studios. My name is Jack and today I want to go over my X-Men roster for the MCU reboot. Now, the Multiverse Saga has granted Marvel the opportunity to bring in mutants into the MCU more fluidly. And so far, we have seen Professor X, Wolverine and Beast already show up with the original Fox cast playing them. Now, it is great having the original Fox cast play these characters, especially more, comic accurate versions of these characters. And with Secret Wars possibly leading to a soft reboot of the MCU, well, we're going to be having new recasted X-Men characters, especially after X-Men 97's fantastic success, and there are already rumors of an X-Men movie in development, so I thought now would be a good chance to pitch my version of an MCU lineup, or at least give an idea of what the X-Men should be like in the MCU. Now, the rumors of the X-Men movie reboot is happening sometime in 2027 or 2028, and is apparently a more female-led movie, which is great. It already adds a more unique tone and separation between the Fox version and the X-Men 97 version. Firstly, I just want to say, yes, a lot of people would probably say that the X-Men 97 lineup would be perfect for the MCU, and whilst I completely agree, I also think it would be a good idea for Marvel to lean into doing a more unique and different version of the team that we haven't seen before, but still allowing us to kind of get a great live-action version of the X-Men anyway. So this will be my guess of a good X-Men roster. However, this is just my opinion, and with things like this, there's never a correct answer, so please bear that in mind. A lot of people won't like what I say, a lot of people will like what I say, a lot of people will have different opinions. All I'm going to say is, put it in the comments below. Put down your version in the comments below. A lot of people want the X-Men 97 team, but me personally, I would like something different. So this is an idea of a guideline of how Marvel could do it. The first character I want to look into is Cyclops. Now, Cyclops hasn't had a justified treatment in the live-action movies yet. We got a taste as to what Cyclops should be like in X-Men 97, and I think that the MCU version should definitely take on board a lot of these characteristics of the character. You know, he's a great leader, but he's a flawed character, he's a flawed person, and I really want Marvel to lean into that. So yes, even though the movie will be more quote-unquote female-led, I would rather Cyclops still be the leader to bring in the X-Men and give that sort of familiarity with the Fox version, of course, but then give Cyclops make a good live-action Cyclops. Next is Jean Grey. Now, yes, of course, she has to be part of the team. However, I don't think she should be the main focus at first. There are many other X-Men characters that deserve a good treatment that the Fox movies couldn't give them. So for now, I'd like Jean to be part of the team, but focus on the stories of other characters rather than her again. Yes, later down the line, Marvel should definitely try and crack the Dark Phoenix story again, but even that should have a very unique and different style. We've had the X-Men 97, the Dark Phoenix storyline in X-Men, the animated series, as well as X-Men Dark Phoenix and X-Men 3, The Last Stand, I think it was. But all three, two of them were mediocre, and the X-Men animated series did it really well. So why don't we try and move away from doing the classic story again and do something more unique? Marvel have a very good concept. I mean, you look at the Civil War event. I know a lot of people think that the Civil War event in the comics is better, but I think how Marvel adapted the Civil War event was really fitting with that universe. So I trust Marvel with this. I really do. I hope that they can give the Dark Phoenix story a good go, but maybe let's move away from Jean for a moment. Next is one of my favorite mutants, and that's Storm. Now, Storm is such an incredible character, and Marvel Animation are really trying to utilize her in X-Men 97 and What If, but I still believe we need to see that great adaptation of Storm in live action. I think Storm could even show up before the X-Men movie, maybe in her own solo project or a different project. The stories that Storm could get in the MCU would be incredible, and I really wanted to get her own chance to shine. Next is Rogue. Again, another X-Men 97 character, but I think she does deserve that chance to show how awesome she is. We got that younger version of Rogue in the Fox movies, but I think that the MCU need to bring her into the team and have her as a core member. We don't have to focus all the stories on her. We kind of had that with the Fox movies at first and the animated series, but I still want an MCU adaptation of her and obviously go into her story and her struggles. But again, I want this to feel unique. So before I go into the more unique characters, let's just quickly go over some classic X-Men that we've seen before. Professor X and Beast, for instance, they should definitely be on the team. However, I think that they should be supporting characters to the team and the story. It would be cool if the X-Men were already an established team with Professor X having created the team long ago. And since then, the team has grown and recruited some new members. And Professor X and Beast could be one of those original members who are now out of the fight and support the team from the background instead. Similarly, I think Wolverine should be separate from the team. I think he shouldn't show up till the second movie or even further than that. Yes, introduce Wolverine into the MCU as soon as you can, really, in a solo project or something else. But let the other X-Men characters shine without Wolverine taking the spotlight again. One of my thoughts for a project would be Wolverine versus Hulk, or Hulk versus Wolverine, however you say it. As that would be a really cool project that would combine what we know with, with the Hulk, and then Wolverine, the new Wolverine coming in. I think that would really fit, and then it would give him a direction to go down. Maybe he could have his own movie after that, and then go into the X-Men, or I don't know, but I don't want Wolverine taking the spotlight yet. Next is Iceman. Now, I don't think the Fox movies did a great job of showing how great this character is, and I think that the MCU really needs to take advantage of putting this character on the roster with how society's going and how accepting we are of LGBTQ and all that. I think it would be great for Iceman to be part of this original roster as well as the current main team. We could have even had a storyline where Iceman leaves and then comes back, similarly to the X-Men animated series. In the same situation, Angel. Now, I'm not sure if I want him to be part of the main team. I think having Angel as one of the original X-Men, and then for him to leave for whatever reason, or even become a teacher or something, and then, yeah, I think that would be great. So not as a main X-Men member, but he definitely needs to be in the MCU, and I would love for him to be introduced beforehand, and then if Apocalypse does come into play, then having Angel turn into Archangel would be awesome. Another character after Deadpool and Wolverine, we need Gambit. I think Channing Tatum did a fantastic job at portraying this character, and I would love Gambit as part of the main X-Men roster, or just a floater character who is part of the stories but isn't part of the main team. Either way, we need more Gambit. Whether it's Channing Tatum or not, we need Gambit. We need Gambit. Next is Colossus. Now, I don't mind if he's part of the main team or he works at the school or he's at the school, but we need him in the MCU. We already have perfect casting for him. I don't think they really need to recast, and it would be great to have him as part of the X-Men films in some way. Plus, I feel like the team needs a tough, strong character, and Colossus would be that big, the Hulk of the team. Now, before we get into the more unique characters, I would also like Nightcrawler to be part of the team for similar reasons to the characters I mentioned. We haven't seen a massive amount of Nightcrawler in the Fox movies, but I did actually really like the way the Fox movies adapted him, but there's definitely more to be given there. So I would like Nightcrawler to be part of the main X-Men team, more so than not. I mean, can you imagine the choreography and the effects that we could see with Nightcrawler in the MCU? It would just be amazing. So now, let's go through the unique characters that can turn this X-Men roster into something new and exciting. Okay, let's go through. First is Emma Frost. Frost hasn't really been utilized much in the Fox movies, nor in the animated series, really. And with recent comics, Emma Frost is more part of the main X-Men roster than she has been before, and I think it would be great to have her on the team. Combining her power sets and everything with the rest of the X-Men, I think would be really cool, and it would add to that female-led Marvel project that, Marvel want. For similar reasons, I've also looked into Psylocke, Psylocke is such a cool character, and again, can you imagine the fights that we could have with her? She's such a cool character, and while she has been used as an antagonist, not necessarily a villain, but an antagonist, I think now will be a cool time to see her as part of the team of heroes, really. So, if Colossus is on the team as well, then we could have his sister, Magic. Magic has been given more attention, especially with the recent release of Marvel Rivals, and whilst we have only seen her in the New Mutants film, having her in the main MCU team would be amazing. She could join the team with Colossus in the second film or another project, but she definitely needs to be on the roster at some point. All these characters kind of, I do have a thought of they could be part of the main team at the start, but they could also add more members as the films go on. This one is probably one of the high requested ones. If I don't have her, then I'm going to be disappointed. Kitty Pryde. Now, Kitty Pryde is another character shown in the Fox X-Men movies. However, she had very little screen time, and she wasn't really used effectively. So to allow the MCU version of the team to have a fresh feel, I think Kitty Pryde would make a great addition to the team, and her power set will be extremely fun to see on screen. More so as well, I would like her to be one of the main characters, the main protagonist of the story. I think that would really fit with this version of the X-Men. There are other possible members that come to mind as well. Jubilee, for example, is a favourite in the original X-Men animated series in X-Men 97. However, I wouldn't fit her in an MCU team just yet. Yes, I'd love to see her down the line and maybe not as a part of the main lineup, but still, I think I would love for her to be part of the younger mutants of the school and maybe eventually join the main team. But for now, I kind of want it to be kind of separate, to separate it from the X-Men 97 version. It's not that I don't love her. I just think other characters deserve a chance to shine. Another character could be Dazzler. Now, I know a lot of people are going to yell at me for this. I would love for Dazzler to be part of the main MCU. Okay, I would like her to be in the MCU, not necessarily on the main team. Okay, we could have the X-Men come across her and part of the stories, and this way we could expand the MCU by having popular singers and bands as part of the world, similarly to how Rogers the Musical became a thing within the MCU. Wouldn't it be cool if you're watching a Marvel movie and Luna Snow is singing, or if Dazzler's singing, and Marvel create original songs that could be posted on like Spotify that you could listen to? I think that would be such a cool concept, and definitely something Marvel should look into. Now, the last character I'd like to talk about is Mystique. Now, Mystique has always been on the fence of whether she's a villain or a hero. The original Fox movies kind of made her a villain, and then the rebooted Fox X-Men movies made her join the main team. Personally, I would prefer her as a villain and explore her relationship with Nightcrawler. But of course, that's completely up to debate. She could have been part of that original team and then turned evil with Magneto. I just don't know. Now, while I've gone through many characters, I will admit there are so many mutants in Marvel Comics, and I want to see them all in the MCU. Not just on the main team, but we definitely need to see as many as possible. While many of you will probably agree or disagree with my points for the X-Men team, I do think that we need a unique version of the X-Men in the MCU. One that allows new members that we haven't seen much of before, but one that allows members like Cyclops to get that proper treatment that we needed. So that's my thoughts. Thank you all so much for watching. Please comment down below with your thoughts on my sort of thoughts as well. Give me your teams. Who would you like as the X-Men in the MCU? Please know that there are no wrong answers, so don't be shouting at people in the comments, don't be shouting at me. I just want to hear your team ideas, or at least some guidelines that you want for the MCU version of the team. If you like this video, then please like and subscribe for more content like this. Thank you all again so much for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.